Welcome to Hot Springs Village Venues, the podcast about Hot Springs Village and the things going on and around Hot Springs Village. Usually we're from the shores of beautiful Lake DeSoto, gone slightly off campus. I've crossed over the western borders of Hot Springs Village way to the south, stepping into the dense overgrown vegetation of Fountain Lake. Now, most of us know Fountain Lake is a small town, as we say, by the roundabout, which is also the name for the school there. Well, I'm standing next to a massive, decaying ribbon of moss-covered concrete. To look at it, it's just a strange, forgotten ruins, but this forest hides a century-old secret. Today we're exploring Arbordale, originally known as the legendary Fountain Lake Resort. But before we travel back in time to the wild parties of the 30s, I want to drop a teaser. The very ground I'm standing on is tied directly to a massive modern industrial transition. A corporate giant you interact with almost every day owns this silent forest and many more. And they're building something massive right outside our gates, but we're going to save that bombshell for the end of the story. Our story begins in 1919 with a local farmer named Weldon Nail. He looked to the natural creek flowing through his valley and decided to dam it. He built a simple wooden lodge and named the site Arbordale. He invited his friends from Hot Springs to come and cool off in the then suburban or rural area outside of Hot Springs. It was a humble, spring-fed swimming hole. But by the 1930s, a visionary named Dr. H.D. Ferguson bought the property, and everything exploded. Ferguson transformed the humble Arbordale into a premier weekend getaway in Garland County. He built a series of rustic overnight cabins and cottages tucked into the trees alongside these lively taverns. People didn't just come for a quick swim. They packed their bags and spent the entire weekend. It was a sanctuary for those who wanted to drink, dance, and get away from the strict eye of all those Baptists in the city. The parties here were legendary. The resort featured a massive, open-air dance pavilion suspended near the water. On hot summer nights, they would bring live Dixieland jazz bands from New Orleans. Picture hundreds of young people dancing under string lights and cold drinks flowing from the Welchman Family Tavern. But the absolute crown jewel of Fountain Lake just wasn't the slide, the concrete slide, now sitting covered in moss and decay. It was a huge water donut. This was a massive spinning metal floating water wheel at the center of the deep pool. It was a giant, slick ring that could rotate. The game was simple and chaotic. Dozens of swimmers would climb onto this wet, spinning donut, and they would spin the wheel faster and faster, trying to see who could hold on the longest and who would get flung, laughing and screaming into the deep spring-fed pool. It was the ultimate test of your 1930s balance and bravery. It was a golden era of local recreation, but on a cold, dry Sunday morning, December the 20th in 1953, disaster struck. A massive fire broke out. It swept through the dry timber of the resort, consuming the main lodge, the dance pavilion, and most of the cottages. Within hours, 30 years of summer memories were reduced to ash, and the resort was never rebuilt. For decades, the forest has swallowed this ruins. A retirement developer called Arbordale Springs tried to revive the land in the 60s, a precursor to our very own Hot Springs Village. But that dream failed, leaving the concrete slide to rot in silence. Which brings us back to our opening teaser. Who owns the historic water playground today? Why is it more of a local business than we could ever imagine? In 2018, the iconic green glass bottled Mountain Valley Spring Water Company acquired the entire former Fountain Lake property. Why? Because the very same spring-fed aquifers that filled the swimming pool and spun that huge water donut a century ago are some of the purest natural water resources in the world. But it goes even deeper. Mountain Valley Water was then acquired by Primo Water Corporation, and now, just outside the gates of Hot Springs Village, Primo is completing a massive, state-of-the-art water bottling facility. Think about the incredible irony. A century ago, people traveled to this exact patch of land to throw themselves into the pure cold springs of Arbordale. Today, that very same water is being secured, bottled, and shipped across the continent by a multi-billion-dollar water company operating right on our doorstep. The water we once played in has become a massive economic engine for our community. Just a reminder, history is never truly dead. It's just waiting to be bottled up and rediscovered. I highly encourage you to check out the Garland County Historical Society, where we've used many of the photos from their resources to learn more about our local treasures. Hey, it's time that we have to click this one off our history check. Thank you for tuning into Hot Springs Village Venues. We will see you next time. Don't delay. Call Janae. Janae Cook, Taylor Realty, 501-617-9747. Whether you're buying, selling, or just considering. Oh, we don't need a realtor yet. Yes, you do. Don't delay. Call Janae. 501-617-9747. Call 501-922-9259. Joanna Horton at M-Force Capital. She can offer a complimentary financial evaluation planning session just for you and your needs. Once again, 501-922-9259. And literally like your good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower, your State Farm agent. Your good neighbor is there. 501-984-4100. The Home Plate Cafe and Bakery. Great home cooking and an amazing bakery located just outside the gates of Hot Springs Village. 501-984-6969, or go through the drive-thru. The Midnight Tavern, Hot Springs Village only late-night place that stays open till 2 a.m. Great music, amazing drinks, and Chef Jonna cooking for you every night. At 110 Colella Drive, Hot Springs Village, Arkansas, just across from the Call for information at 501-226-0078, 501-226-0078, or check them out on Facebook with all the latest entertainment. And by Domino's Pizzas, West and upcoming East. That's right, Domino's Pizza will have an East location mid-2026. Great food, great service, and 501-915-9595. 501-915-9595.
KVRE at 92.9 and streaming worldwide on iHeartRadio. KVRE is your family-owned local hometown radio station, so be sure and tune in for live local programming, news, sports, and information every day at 92.9. HSV Radio. HSV Radio is heard every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. or streaming on any of the major platforms. Hot Springs Village Radio is an eclectic mix of music, motivation, great music history, and Saturday morning fun. Join us every Saturday morning at 9 a.m., 92.9. Hot Springs Village only short-term rental with over 2,100 five-star reviews. All properties are lakefront. They include complimentary kayaks, hot tub, pet-friendly, and a stunning view of the lake. Visit DD Village Prop today for your vacation getaway.